Welcome, dear viewers, to the story that has shaken hearts across the globe. A royal confession wrapped in poetry, truth, and timeless emotion. For years, the world has speculated about the mysterious woman hidden behind the verses of Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed al Maktoum, known lovingly as Fazza. But now, the Crown Prince of Dubai has spoken, not through riddles or metaphors, but through a heartfelt statement that revealed the truth behind the whispers. His official words about the older woman have rewritten what the world thought it knew about love, loyalty, and inspiration. In a world obsessed with image and perfection, Sheikh Hamdan chose truth over tradition. He admitted that his inspiration, the woman whose presence shaped his poetry and heart, was indeed older than him. Yet, he described her not as a scandal or secret, but as a rare soul who reflected wisdom like moonlight on the sands. His tone carried not embarrassment, but admiration. He spoke with the grace of a man who knows that age cannot measure love's purity. His words were not defensive, they were deeply poetic, drenched in honesty, maturity, and profound respect. Fazza's statement echoed like a melody through every corner of the internet. He said that this woman had entered his life at a time when he needed to see beyond the noise of the world. She was not a figure of fame or fortune, she was a listener, a teacher, a reflection of peace. Through her, he rediscovered the value of patience, the strength of silence, and the beauty of imperfection. She did not teach me how to write poems, he said, she taught me how to feel them, and with that, the world finally understood the true heartbeat behind his verses. For years, his poems spoke of a love that seemed timeless, a love that existed beyond youth, beyond pride, beyond possession. He wrote of eyes that carried stories, of hands that had healed others before holding his. Many assumed those were simply poetic expressions, but now they realize they were confessions. His official statement confirmed what fans had long suspected, that Fazza's muse was a woman of experience, someone who had lived, lost, and loved before him. A woman whose emotional depth gave birth to the gentleness in his poetry. His revelation did more than surprise, it shattered illusions. It reminded the world that even princes crave emotional connection, not perfection. Fazza said, "She taught me that beauty fades, but presence remains. That words can lie, but silence never does." His honesty redefined romance, turning it from fairy tales into real human connection. The love he described was not youthful passion, but soulful peace, the kind of love that asks for nothing and gives everything. Dubai listened with awe as their crown prince revealed a side of himself no throne could define. This was not a leader speaking, this was a man whose soul had been touched. The older woman he spoke of was not just his muse, but his mirror. Through her, he found balance in a life consumed by duty. Through her, he learned humility and empathy, the very qualities that make him the beloved leader he is today. In his words, "She was the quiet chapter that guided all my louder ones." His statement carried weight not just for its content, but for its courage. Royal figures rarely speak of emotion in such raw, unguarded ways. But Fazza's voice trembled with authenticity. He made it clear that his connection to her was built on respect, not romance alone. It was not a fleeting affair but a lifelong influence. "She showed me how love can be strength without possession, guidance without control, and truth without fear." With those words, he transformed what could have been rumor into revelation. The world reacted with stunned admiration. Critics expected denial, but Fazza gave them poetry. They expected distance, but he gave them devotion. Instead of hiding his truth, he embraced it, proving once again that leadership is not just about ruling lands, but about ruling one's heart with honesty.
After his statement, the world seemed to pause, not in disbelief, but in admiration. Sheikh Hamdan's confession didn't weaken his image, it elevated it. For the first time, people saw beyond the prince and into the poet, the man who dared to speak his heart in a world that values perfection over honesty. The way he described the older woman was not through the lens of romance alone, but reverence, as though she was a sacred chapter written by fate itself. His truth carried the softness of humility, showing that even those born into greatness still seek emotional guidance from those who've lived and learned before them. The impact of his revelation spread far beyond Dubai's borders. Around the world, people shared his words as a symbol of emotional courage. His statement became more than news, it became poetry in motion, an anthem for those who've loved against expectation. Fazza reminded the world that inspiration doesn't always come from the young and beautiful. Sometimes, it comes from souls that have already danced with time. The older woman he spoke of became a symbol, not of controversy, but of wisdom's quiet power. Those close to Fazza noticed a transformation in him since revealing his truth. He seemed lighter, freer, as though a burden had finally lifted. His poems, once guarded, now flow with radiant sincerity. They speak of gratitude, of growth, of lessons learned in silence. Some truths, he said, are not meant to shock, they're meant to free. His openness redefined what royal dignity truly means, not hiding behind perfection, but standing in the light of authenticity. Through her, he discovered not just love, but liberation. And though she remains unseen, her influence is everywhere. In the way he speaks to his people with empathy, in the way he writes with patience, in the way he leads with grace, her spirit lingers. She may never be part of his royal image, but she has become part of his legacy. She was never meant to stand beside him in ceremony, she was meant to walk with him through destiny. Fazza once wrote, "Some souls arrive not to stay, but to awaken." Now, the world knows exactly who he meant. The world continues to wonder if she still walks this earth or if she's become one with the eternity his verses describe. But Fazza remains silent on that question, perhaps because some stories are too sacred for words. What matters is not her identity, but her impact. Through her, he learned that love can be eternal without being visible. It can live in art, in faith, in memory. That is the love that shaped his poetry, not a fleeting flame, but an eternal glow. She became his quiet muse once more, not out of admiration but out of trust. When he wrote of light, she saw herself in every metaphor. When he wrote of storms, she knew they were memories of their own trials. The palace, once shadowed by uncertainty,